so-called Negro community has shocked the white man by resisting all efforts to divide us. I think that you and I should continue to shock him by staying and working together in unity, despite religious, political, economic, or educational or social differences.
My people are terrified. We've been terrorized to the point that we're mentally and spiritually paralyzed. We suffered through centuries of dehumanization and degradation. It took the form of slavery and segregation in this land of the free, where oppression's government sanctioned. We're subjected to systemic skin color discrimination, from black codes to Jim Crow to black criminalization. It's been 400 years, it's time for our liberation. We're a nation within a nation, victims of colonization. Where's our revolution and Independence Day celebration? Cause what's the 4th of July to the slave on the plantation? And slavery didn't end, they just changed its implementation. Just check the 13th Amendment, then you'll see why so many black males end up as guilty defendants. The system isn't broken, it's working as it's intended. So I'm not here to fix it, I'm here to end it.
And then again, if we tell you that Negroes are being hung on the tree or being shot down illegally, unjustly, and those Negroes should do something to protect themselves, you say you're advocating violence.
I won't rest till this nightmare we're living in ends, and we see justice for our murdered young innocent men. If black lives really matter, black people need the proof. Cause we are the only ones responsible for our improvement. How can we leave it to someone else to do what's best for us, especially when there's someone else has historically been oppressing us? We can't use a system built to enslave us to free us, and we really sick if we think that they white Jesus can heal us. Our children need us to defend them, teach them and guide them, show them love and bring out the greatness that is deep inside them. Are we gonna build a nation or stay on the plantation? Keep begging for our freedom or fight for our liberation?
When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, he didn't say get nonviolent. He said praise the Lord, but pass the ammunition.
We must be willing to die together, or we'll definitely die separately. We desperately need unity if liberation is our destiny. If we don't know our history, then we doomed to repeat it. White supremacy is the enemy, but together we can defeat it. They stole us from the motherland, sold us into slavery, forced us to work for them. They got the nerve to call us lazy. In this caste system, we're outcasts, still treated as second class. But I can feel it in the air, revolutions in the forecast. We came for greatness, but they don't want us to know. So they hid our history to keep us under control. All it takes is to take a stand. The enemy's not invincible, but we must come together as one nation indivisible.
20 million black people don't even know their own language. Why? Because he took it away from them. 20 million black people who don't even know the history of their ancestors. Why? Because he took it away from them. And if you're trying to tell them how thoroughly and completely they've been robbed, he says you're teaching hate. That's something to think about. Today you are coming out of college. You're coming out of the leading university. You're trying to go in a good direction, but you don't know which direction to go in.
So family, I want you to take a look at this. And yes, we all know who this is. We all know who this is, and we all know what she does. But I'm going to take this time to put this message out here for the younger sisters in this generation that have yet to find themselves in her situation, because we're going to look at where she is now and where she's going to be by the time she reaches a certain age. So with that said, we're going to get into this, and we're going to break some things down here.
I know I need to do this video, but I don't want to. Forgiveness has been a really big theme in my life. I'm going to get through this video, but never understood when people said you forgive for you. There are a lot of people that I never even began to remotely forgive in my heart. Like Brittany to Brittany in private, still holding on to resentment. What was so hard about forgiveness for me was it seems like everybody just moves on with their life. And then here you are, emotionally, you felt like you just did 2 tours in Afghanistan. Arm blown off, forever changed by the events that happened to you.
Let's pause right here. So now y'all heard what she just said, but this is the problem with Brittany Renner and those like her. All this trauma that she's talking about, she's experiencing here, and being in situations where she got to feel like she need to forgive people. She's talking about the men that's done ran through her. This is what happens when you put yourself in that situation, young sisters. Because I'm talking to young sisters. I don't give a damn about other women of other communities. That's not my concern. I'm talking to my people. Young sisters, do not become this woman, because everything that she's sitting up here talking about she needs to forgive people for is self-inflicted. You teach people how to treat you. That is a very true statement. And there's times in life where you need to think about things before you make certain decisions, because nothing she's talking about is a mistake. It was bad decision making. A mistake can happen to anyone. You can trip over something and fall. That's unforeseen occurrence. A bad decision requires a series of thoughts that leads to a choice. I'm going to say that again. A mistake is unforeseen occurrence. It can happen to anyone. A bad decision is a series of thoughts that leads to a choice. And you have to live with the choices that you make, because some of them can put you in situations where you're stuck in those situations for the rest of your life. And in this situation, we're talking about being a terrible thought. See, let's understand something with her situation. If she would have acted like she had some sense and been thinking long game, she would have married PJ Washington, and she would have been the wife of a multimillionaire with an intact family and a secure future. But that's not what she wanted to do. She wanted to hop back out here and get into the streets. And see, I'm going to tell you something. You're talking about getting to the bag. You fumbled the bag then. And any woman that thinks like you has fumbled the bag. And see, you found some productive simp, which is not many out there like that was willing to take you off the market with your past history. You should have cashed out when you had the chance. Now you out here on OnlyFans and you making videos crying out on the internet. And you know, it's sad because you can tell this woman is psychologically disturbed. And the men that find her attractive, because I don't, but there are some men that think she's, oh boy, they jump over the table to do any and everything for her. They clearly see that she's mentally unstable. And unfortunately, young sisters, they will take advantage of you if they see that you're in that state. Because nobody can claim that this woman is not psychologically unbalanced with the stuff she's doing. See, what she needs is something that's never going to happen, because she ain't going to figure it out, and she don't have nobody around her that care enough about her to tell her this. If this woman was smart, what she would do is get off social media, take what little money you have, take care of your child, and you need to take a break and go somewhere and just get yourself together without trying to be famous or be seen. But see, that's never going to happen. See, she's basically the equivalent of a zombie. She is. You the walking dead at this point. You spiritually dead, you mentally dead, and it's going to take a toll on her going forward. And see, here's who I feel the worst for: her child or any children she may have. Because see, when a mother is unbalanced like this and there's no father there, the children get the brunt of it. Especially if those children look like the men that they had them by, that they didn't, marry or can't stand them for whatever reason. They take it out on those children. There's too many situations in America and around the world that are like this. So this is the situation that she finds herself in. And now what women like this do, they use the internet as a form of therapy. But see, here's the problem. Getting online and venting about it, after you shut that live button down and you get off the internet, you still stuck with the problem that you have because nobody's trying to help you, and you're not going to listen to the people that can help you. But I'm going to let you finish here because we're going to get further into this, and I'm going to show you where she's going to be by the time she gets a certain age.
Acceptance part 2, where there are some apologies you'll just never get. And you have to validate yourself. I choose forgiveness because I don't want to keep looping in the same story. Because that same story, like the stories that we tell ourselves about our lives, are the same stories that keep us captive.
But you will be looping into the same story because you're not going to get out of what you decided to do. See, I got to go here with it. This is the problem with the tragic mulattoes, especially if those fathers are not in the house. Because everything about this woman's behavior, and those of you who have seen how her antics are online, just listen to how she speaks. You can tell that she grew up a biracial child trying to adapt to mostly white society's behavior. Everything in the inflection of her voice and the phrases she uses and how she speaks. I mean, especially when it comes to her just being an open turbo thought. There's a problem though, Brittany. You're not a white woman in America. You biracial, and they gonna consider you black. So you damn sure not gonna be marrying no wealthy white man. I mean, they'll lay up with you, but they're not finna marry you. And any smart brothers would have sense enough not to marry you, because look what you're doing. Think about it, right? And for any women that come across this video that say, oh my God, he's harsh, he going in. No. Stop and listen to what I'm about to say next. For the kinds of men that most of you say you want, which one of those men do you think would be proud to say, yeah, boy, I want a wife like Brittany Renner? Which one of the men you think gonna say that, huh? Other men have seen you all on OnlyFans. Every time you turn around, you changing. Men like people change socks. There is no man that's worth a damn. And I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about of any good character that's going to settle down and marry a woman like that. None. I'm going to let her continue here because we gonna get into where she's going to end up later on down the line.
Things that happen to us shape us, without a doubt. But they don't define us. Your wounds, your war wounds, it just means you showed up and you fought. And that's something to be proud of. Hey, TikTok.
Now, this is the part right here I want y'all to pay close attention to. Because you see the age that Brittany Renner is now. This is where she's going to be by the time she gets to this woman's age. Let's let her talk.
You know, it's crazy because I joke a lot about being single and, you know, I laugh it off. But I'm 46 years old. And while I'm getting ready for surgery and everything, it dawned on me. Hold on. I'm sorry. It dawned on me that I'm 46 years old and I don't have a husband to take care of me. I don't have a husband to help me get ready. I'm 46 years old and I still need my mama to
to take care of me post-op. I still need my sister, which, whether I had a husband or not, they would be there. It sucks. Being single and 46 sucks.
I had to do it. I had to let the smallest violins in the world play because, see, seriously, ladies, you see where Brittany Renner is now with the remainder of her youth, reputation completely ruined by being a turbo thought. And you see where this woman is, who I'm pretty sure led the same lifestyle when she was younger and more attractive to whatever men would find her attractive, because she looks hideous to me. Yes, I said it. And this is a Hispanic woman who we know in America is classified as white. But now she's hit that almighty wall, which is undefeated. I don't care how much y'all don't like that phrase. If you make certain foolish decisions as a young woman out here, and the good men that come your way, you keep on overlooking them, you keep on passing them by, you keep playing games, you want to stay out here being a turbo thought, this is where you're going to end up. Pay close attention to what she said. She was going through a situation where she's preparing for surgery and there's nobody there to advocate for her. She doesn't have a husband. That's a real bad situation to be in today in America, ladies and gentlemen. You know, and I say it to the brothers too. For those of you out here, you know what I'm saying, that you come across good women and you don't consider marriage when you got yourself together, that is, because you need to make sure you are able to support a wife before you start looking at marriage. Don't keep passing the good ones by. You better settle down. So that being said, I want you to understand something. This does not have to be you. It doesn't have to be you. You don't have to keep making bad decisions, not mistakes, bad decisions that put you in this woman's situation. Because let's be clear. I'm going to tell it like it is. She's not going to get married at this age, looking the way she look. See, I'm going to give you some game real quick. For those of you that don't have any real elder grandmothers or real elder grandfathers or, you know, father, whatever the case may be, or even brothers that will put you up on this. Understand that your looks are a big part of what's going to help you catch a man, but it's not the only thing. I would say it's about 50% of it. The other 50% is make sure that you bringing the skills that's needed to reciprocate a man taking care of you, being cooperative with him. Yes, cooking. Understand something. Cooking to feed your workhorse is an honor. Okay. And a man appreciates a good meal from his woman because, hey, that powers him up and gives him the vitality needed to go out there and be a producer. Don't ever be ashamed of that. Don't listen to these old heifers telling you that cooking for a man is bad. One that takes care of you. Key word, a man that takes care of you. Okay. Make sure that, yes, education is important because if you have a family, you definitely want to be able to contribute to their education, being that the women are the first teachers of children in any race. Okay. But this putting your career first and all of that, I'm going to tell you something. A career is no substitute for a good man. You better start looking at all these women out here now that's looking, talking about where all the good men at. See, that's the fucked up part about it. Society has fed them that lie that if they just put their careers first and education and all of that, you got time on your side. You actually don't. Not today, you don't. You really don't. Times have changed. Y'all better start to look at how the dating market has changed since the early 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s even. It's not the same. You don't have time. Don't just go out here and get with anybody. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, for those of you, because the greater majority of you have had situations where you could have had good dudes, but you passed them up for some superficial reason. Y'all better stop doing that. Or don't. And end up like this woman and Brittany Renner. Because see, if you're on the Brittany Renner track now, you're done. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all something right now, man. Most of y'all out here that's got these OnlyFans, it's over with for you. That's out there forever. So I hope that you make as much money as you can. Even that money is not going to be a replacement for a man, but you better get all you can get out of it, because see, no guy that's worth a damn is going to marry you. And I already know what some of you going to say. Well, I know somebody that got an OnlyFans that's married. I'm going to ask you this question. What quality of man is she married to? Because chances are she's got a hobosexual that has to depend on the money that she make off of OnlyFans to take care of his sorry ass. No man that's upstanding and worth a damn want his woman being seen by the entire world. That's supposed to be for our eyes only. Absorb this, young sisters. Don't go out like this. Going out like this is a choice. You don't have to do it. That's it. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you all in future content.